How's it going, everybody? It's Stas here. So it's currently noon on the East Coast, and the markets, at least as of now, are doing pretty well. We have the S&P, the Dow, and the NASDAQ all up about 0.5, 0.6%, and the Russell is pretty much at break even. So we have to break down some charts, the markets, and like you all saw in the title, 3 oversold stocks that I'm looking at now. So sit back, relax, hit the like button, subscribe, and check out my Patreon if you guys want all my buys, sells, call outs, morning update videos, plus more. And you guys can get 50 free bucks from M1 Finance. All of that is linked right down below. And with that being said, let's get right into it. So as of now, the markets are breaking out. What we're looking at here is SPY, which, as you all should know at this point, tracks the S&P 500. We actually just hit a high on the 5-day, 5-minute chart, and we broke above the high point from yesterday in the pre-market. If you guys remember, yesterday pre-market, 469.30 was the high, and we actually just broke out of that recently about 30 minutes ago, maybe a little bit less. We hit almost 470 bucks per share. Now we're pulling back a bit. Looks like we're holding 469 as support, so that's a good sign that we want to go even higher. So at this point, guys, SPY, it looks like we want to go to all-time highs again, which we're literally about $1 away from those highs as of now. And with QQQ, let's pop that up. QQQ's also taking out the highs from yesterday pre-market, which those were at about 396. Now we're at 397. We're pulling back a bit, and we're actually holding the highs from yesterday as support, which is great. That's a good sign that we want to go higher, maybe even go to the all-time highs, which in this case for QQQ, those are a little bit under 401 per share. So the markets, guys, are looking bullish. We're green all across the board. Now the Russell's even turning green, which was red earlier. Now we're turning green. So it's looking good. And we'll talk more about the markets in my video later on today. So make sure you guys subscribe, turn on that notification bell. And while you're at it, hit the like button if you haven't done that already. It helps me out in the YouTube algorithm. And with that being said, let's now go over the 3 oversold stocks. And I've been choking all day, guys. It's getting cold out here in New Jersey, and the weather change has my throat a little bit wonky. So bear with me. Stock number one is ROKU, ticker symbol ROKU. And this is one of those stocks, guys, that oversold is not even the word for it. It's beyond oversold. I mean, this was almost a $500 stock in the summertime, in the end of July. It was 490 bucks. Now it's at 270. It is down almost 40%, over 40%, almost 45% is what ROKU is down. And it's just been downtrending. I mean, obviously, under the moving averages, we're now seeing a death cross, which is not the best sign. And let me tell you this right off the bat. Yes, we're oversold, but we're not quite yet seeing a reversal. But one thing I am seeing, though, is a bullish divergence starting to form. What we're noticing here is the RSI pretty much over the past week has been strengthening, even though the stock's been moving down. So that could be a sign that a reversal's in store, whether it's this week, next week, the week after, I have no idea, but that is a good sign. And overall, on the yearly chart, what we're noticing is now we're towards the bottom of this downwards channel that we've been trading within pretty religiously over the past pretty much year, since December of 2020, right? We've been trading within this for pretty much a year. So at this point, we're very oversold. We're towards the bottom of the channel, 250, 260, right? And I think at this point, buyers could step in here to push it up. Maybe we're not going to go all the way back up to 400, 500. I mean, we could, but that's a bit out of the cards right now. But what's more realistic, I would say, is from 250, 260, 270, where we are now, maybe a relief rally to 300, maybe 350, towards the moving averages on the yearly chart. That is very possible. So for that reason, we're watching ROKU. I'm watching the bullish divergence on the 4-hour chart forming, and I'm going to set an alert at maybe at 280. I'll put another one maybe at 300 to watch what it does there, and we'll keep an eye on it. So number 1 is ROKU. Number 2 is American Airlines, ticker symbol AAL. This one I actually covered in my morning video on Patreon, which we also called out the breakout in the markets this morning on Patreon before they actually happened, guys, which again, you could check that down below. We talked about AAL, and I mentioned to you guys it was hovering at about 20 bucks this morning. I said, look, I would want this down to the lower 19s, maybe even high 18 level towards the bottom of this channel, the uptrending channel that we've been trading within pretty much since summer, the middle of July, or at least summer here in the U.S. I know summer is different in Australia. I have a cousin in Australia. And when he told me that when I was younger, I was mind blown when he said, summer is winter, winter is summer, at least here in the U.S. It's very different. But that's a little side tangent there. AAL, yeah, we're watching it here at about 1950 towards the bottom of the channel. I think buyers could step in there as it's very oversold at this point, and for no good reason. I mean, I don't even know why a lot of these travel stocks are getting hit. Is it Corona related? Maybe. I mean, AAL is getting hit. Cruise lines are getting hit. CCL's down a good chunk. The CCL chart's not looking as good as AAL. I think NCLH is down. Yeah, NCLH is down 8% today. This one's towards the bottom of the channel. This chart looks a little bit better than CCL. So I guess we can group all these together. You know, the travel-oriented stocks, CCL, NCLH, AAL. I'm looking at all these, AAL being my favorite out of the bunch, at least technically speaking. Marriott, MAR, is another one that I'm looking at, which is pretty oversold here. And this chart looks a lot better than, I would say, the travel ones like AAL, CCL, considering this one's still well within the uptrend, even though AAL is uptrending. I think it's under the moving averages. Let me double check. Yeah, AAL is under both moving averages, but Marriott, MAR, is under the 50 moving average, but it's still above the main 180 moving average, where it seems like we're trying to consolidate right now, and buyers actually stepped in at 152 today. Now we're trading above 155. We are seeing a bit of a reversal on the intraday chart. So going back to that 4-hour, very simple. I want to see if we at least consolidate a little bit here above the 180 SMA, and then maybe we get a bounce off of that. With the RSI being oversold, maybe we start going to 160, 170 again. That's kind of what I'm looking for. But the second, guys, we break under 150 into the mid 140s, low 140s, that's going to be pretty different. That's going to be a break of trend, and I'm not going to be too big of a fan of that because, yeah, I mean, we could be going much lower at that point, and we don't want to get caught in a trade like that. So, yeah, I mean, keep your eyes on Marriott, AAL, ROKU, and I'm also keeping a very close eye on, this is a bonus one, I guess, now that I'm looking at my watch list. It's doing pretty well. I'm looking at Tattooed Chef today. They report earnings after hours. The stock is up almost 4%. We're starting to push above 17 per share, so there's a little bit of hype, hype building up here before the earnings report, which got rescheduled. If you guys recall, last week, we were supposed to see the Tattooed Chef earnings, but they rescheduled them to this week. Now we're seeing a big push in real time. Look at this. From 16.20, now it's pushing to 17. It's up 6% intraday. So, hey, maybe this could go up even higher. We know that there is a decent amount of short interest on Tattooed Chef, so keep your eyes on it today. And the other ones, again, ROKU, AAL, and Marriott. So that's pretty much it. If you guys found value in this video, make sure to hit the like button, subscribe, leave me your thoughts in the comments, and check out my Patreon. If you guys want all my moves in the markets, my buys, sells, call outs, everything I'm doing from options, trades, long-term investments, and you get more access to me throughout the day All of that's linked down below on Patreon, or you can go to stocksurfs.com/Patreon, and make sure to also get your 50 free bucks from M1 Finance, link down below. All you have to do is deposit $100. Same thing with Webull, deposit $100 with them. You get 2 stocks up to $1,600. And yeah, I guess that's it. I'll catch you all in the next video. Thanks for watching again. As always, keep crushing the markets. Stay safe out there. Peace out.